Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here and welcome. The day is finally here. It is time to revisit our Octane roster. And I'm hyped for this one. So excited to show you guys what I've got lined up here in Octane. And we've got a cracking first night for you here. But, big bit of news, big surprise. And here is that news. Yes, I said in the introduction video that I was looking at making a couple of massive signings in the few days leading up to this first episode. And here is the first one. After finding out, of course, that he is leaving the Adrenaline roster due to losing that match against Samoa Joe, he was unattached to any roster. And I thought, how can we not take this guy on? That's it. AJ Styles is here in Octane, and I am so hyped to have him here. And we're going to get a little bit of mic time to start things off today as well then. AJ Styles, be interesting to see what this man's got to say. Of course, he's been given a fantastic opportunity here, and I'm sure he is more than willing to take it on board. But it's interesting to see what his motivations, what his targets are going to be here for Octane. I see big things for this guy. He's been former champion wherever he's been. Will he be a champion here in SWE Octane? Will somebody give this guy a mic? Let's see exactly what he's got to say. Yes, I am here and Octane is about to become phenomenal. Right, now why am I here, are you asking? Well, basically, after Shabby Mania last week, I was sat backstage feeling sorry for myself when I saw a certain Shabby Gamer walk up towards me, and I knew right then that when God shuts a door, he opens a window, and Shabby Gamer was there to offer me the opportunity to prove exactly how good I am to you guys out there in YouTube land. But not only that, I saw an opportunity to come back to Octane and regain what is rightfully mine. The last time I was in the ring with Bullet Club, as their leader, a mutiny was held and I was expelled from the group. I am back here to reclaim what is rightfully mine. Kenny Omega, you managed to persuade the guys that the grass was greener on the other side. You managed to persuade them that you would be a better leader for this club than I was. But look what's happened since I've left. The club has fallen apart. There's a definite divide in the club. There's an argument over leadership between yourself and Cody Rhodes. Now, it's just not right, and I'm back here because I want to bring Bullet Club. I want to bring them back up to the forefront of the wrestling community. I want to bring them back to a stable that everyone fears the name. So after that from AJ, he is going to actually have a match one-on-one. It's time to face the facts. It's time for Kurt Hawkins. Good old Kurt Hawkins. I'm a fan of Kurt Hawkins, to be honest. And I'm quite annoyed about the whole situation with Kurt Hawkins being on this massive losing streak. But when you think about it, he's actually fulfilling a very, very useful role. I don't think he's... don't get me wrong, he'd love to be winning every single match and he'd love to be an absolute champion. But I think at this point in time, I think he's happy where he is. Will he consider leaving when his contract expires and maybe going back to the indie scene? At the moment, he's working lots of live shows. He's working lots of episodes of Raw as well, so it makes you wonder whether he'd bother. Don't get me wrong, like I said, I would like to see Kurt Hawkins push on and do a bit more. There's been rumours about him rejoining up with Zack Ryder as a tag team and so forth, but I like the lad. I do. I'd love to see him as Braun Strowman's tag team partner for the WrestleMania Tag Team Championship match. But either way, we have got AJ Styles in his first match in an Octane ring, taking on Kurt Hawkins. And straight away, AJ taking Hawkins down with that running Hurricanrana. Got some big matches here for you this evening. Next up, we've got that's AJ Styles now. Next up, we've got Will Ospreay taking on Hirumo Takahashi. Then we're going to see Evil and Sanada from the LIG taking on Sheamus and Cesaro. We've got Apollo Crews versus Anthony Nese. Andrade, Cien, Almas versus Kushida. Oh, referee, well done. The referee just ruined AJ Styles' debut. AJ hits a phenomenal forearm already in this match. And 1, 2, and 3. And AJ Styles starts his reign of dominance here in Octane with a very, very fast victory over Kurt Hawkins. Yeah, Evil Sanada versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Anthony Nese versus Apollo Crews. Andrade, Cien, Almas takes on Kushida. And then our main event here this evening will be a #1 contendership match for the European Championship when Marty Scurll takes on Drew McIntyre. So, big match here this evening. Big night here this evening. And by the end of it, we will know one of our championship matches as well for our first pay-per-view, which I have yet to name because I'm always well ahead of things, aren't I? I'm always such ahead of my time. I have got a name written down, but I just realised it's one that we use for Adrenaline, so I can't use it. I'll think of something. I'll think of something. I'll think of something. I'm just going to keep saying that until something comes into my head, but, you know. You know what? No, we're going to use it. We're going to use All or Nothing. All or Nothing. That's going to be our first pay-per-view now. I know Adrenaline used it, but for what we have planned, All or Nothing suits the Octane first pay-per-view very, very well. And here is our next match of the evening. 2 of the best Super Juniors in the world. Will Ospreay takes on Hirumo Takahashi. Now, of course, our Junior Heavyweight Champion here on Octane. Of course, I've rebranded that in case you didn't realise. We're going to call this one the Junior Heavyweight Championship just because it gives some differential... I just realised there's a WWE logo in this arena. I must have missed that one, did it? Yeah, just to differentiate from the Adrenaline Cruiserweight Championship. Yeah, we're going for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. A bit like the New Japan Championship, I suppose, and the Combat Zone Wrestling has the same as well. At the moment, the Junior Heavyweight Champion is Mystico. And we do have a big match set up already at the pay-per-view for his championship defense. But you guys are going to have to wait until the very next episode to find out about that. And I will put a little disclaimer in here. I did plan on uploading this on Saturday, which hopefully is Saturday. This will be you'll have this uploaded. However, because of work commitments again this week, I don't think I'll be able to get the second episode up on Sunday. It'll probably end up falling into Monday. So hopefully, that's not too much of a problem. But hopefully it will be worth it as well. And hopefully, because I've done 22 hours of overtime this week alone, hopefully I am on top of things enough where I don't have to do as much work over the next few days and we can just enjoy our videos and get as much uploaded as we possibly can. And put some pretty cool shows on for you guys. That's what I want to try and do anyway. Like I say, I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is good. I think with the Adrenaline one, I started to notice the views started to dwindle towards the end of the season. I think it is nice to have a fresh start every now and again. Of course, Adrenaline, I really enjoyed Adrenaline. I thought PJ Timmy did a fantastic job with the writing and the matches we got. Of course, we were very much limited by the mechanics of the game and stuff like that, but I think we've got some really cool stuff here as well, ready for you on Octane, and hopefully we've learnt and we can continue making things better and better and better. Of course, there's Takahashi down the back left. You've got Bushi on the back right. Bushi looks pretty cool on this one, actually, doesn't he? Have we got much Bushi stuff going on? I don't think I have, actually. Come on, I must have some Bushi stuff going on. It's almost like Bushi's just a manager for this entire universe mode. Oh no, he's got a tag team match in that second month he's in. Yeah, I've got some interesting stuff going on for you. What about in week, month number? I've literally written all 3 months already. Well, as much as you can write anyway. I'm pretty sure Bushi has 1 match in the entire 3 months. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? I might try and squeeze him into something else because he looks pretty cool. His attire looks fantastic. I think everything about it looks pretty cool, doesn't he? So yeah, this is Takahashi versus Will Ospreay. Like I said, 2 of the best junior heavyweights in the world. Naito is going to have a good run here as well. Naito, we will see him in action next episode for his first match in this universe mode. I'll give you a little bit of hype for that. Next week we will see Naito versus Aleister Black one-on-one. That's our next episode. Also in that episode we're going to see Mike Bennett taking on The Miz. Ciampa versus Pete Dunne. So some real big ones for you. And of course another big announcement, as I was as I was alluding to at the end of the introduction episode, couple of big deals looking to be completed. Of course, we completed one already in the signing of AJ Styles, who you saw earlier on this evening, but there is one more big name that we are trying to complete. We're just trying to cross the T's and dot the I's, but if all goes to plan, then you will meet this new member of the roster in our very next episode, so stay tuned for that one. You see Will Ospreay here, branded himself very well to Octane, dyed his hair purple. Purple tights were looking good. As Ospreay's heading up top already. Nice inverted 450 on Hirumo Takahashi. Takahashi, very, very good wrestler. I'm not 100% sure on this. I go from back and forth on this core Takahashi. Attire-wise, fantastic. But looking at the face, I'm never too sure how I feel about it. I always think, no, it looks nothing like it. Then I Google a picture of Takahashi, look at it and go, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. It's the best Takahashi we can get hold of anyway. Here's the pin now by Will Ospreay. Only a 1 count. Takahashi kicked out. It's going to take a bit more than that for Ospreay. Yeah, we've got some really cool matches lined up this month for you. Really cool. I'm just looking down the line now, and obviously you may have noticed there is a slight overlap with some of the people from the Adrenaline roster, but like I said, I think it's a good way. I think the rosters have a certain feel to them, a certain theme to them now, and I feel like it's good for me and PJW to have that little bit of creative license and just utilise some of the better people to make sure you guys get the best possible matches and the best storylines that we can put forward at all. And you will start to understand the storylines that we're going for very, very soon. I think it should become quite visible very soon. Of course, you've already seen some of our beginning of the storyline earlier on this evening. Nice back sent on there by Takahashi. Bringing Will Ospreay back up to his feet. And talking of Will Ospreay, like I've been mentioning quite a few times now, myself and PJW are looking at the possibility of doing a Wrestling World Cup while the real World Cup's on. So hopefully you guys will be hyped to see that. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on there. I think it's going to be quite fun actually. We've got some really good stuff lined up for it. Got some cool ideas with that one. Ospreay now into a DDT, all spiked on Takahashi as well. Takahashi really struggling there as Ospreay goes in for the pin. Only a 1 count. Takahashi kicked out. Ospreay bringing Takahashi back up to his feet into the reverse Bloody Sunday. Or the 1960, whatever you want to call it these days. And now Will Ospreay stalking Takahashi. This is a big match in that junior heavyweight division. Oh, wow. Flipping DDT there by Will Ospreay. Yeah, this is a big match in that junior heavyweight roster, but not only that, of course, it's a good way for both these guys to earn a bit of momentum and some ranking as well going forward into this universe mode. Getting a victory on the very first episode. Both these guys are going to be used quite a lot, I think. So to see them in action here together against each other is going to be really good for us. There's a spinning heel kick to the gut there by Ospreay. Now he takes Takahashi up into that Michinoku driver, hooks the leg for the pin, but Bushi distracting the referee. Bushi doing a fantastic job here distracting the referee. I think. Did Bushi distract the referee, or did the referee just blatantly decide not to count that one? I think Bushi distracted the referee. Takahashi now gets dropped snake eyes across that top rope by Will Ospreay, who can't be happy with the fact that he just hit a large maneuver there that could have won him the match and referee didn't even notice it. Arm drag takedown there by Takahashi. And Takahashi now turning this match around. Will that interference by Bushi be enough to let Takahashi turn this match around and get the victory? Oh, dropping neck first over the top there by Takahashi on Ospreay. Nice drop kick as well. And now Takahashi wrenching back of that arm. Quite close to the rope though, Ospreay, so I don't think Takahashi can hold it for too long, and then goes for the arm breaker instead. Takahashi now German suplex snapped as well. And Takahashi now in firm control ever since Ospreay could have won the match. Takahashi now taking control. Up on his feet now, Ospreay. Takahashi stalking, ready to go. Nice drop kick. Ospreay launched halfway across the ring. And we get some good quality match from this one, aren't we? And of course, don't forget, the rest of LIG will be available in our next match. Of course, Sanada and Evil take on Sheamus and Cesaro. Of course, don't forget, of course, that Sheamus is the European champion as well, so he'll have one eye on tonight's main event, Marty Scurll versus Drew McIntyre. A chair has arrived in the wing. In the wing? It's in the wing. A chair has arrived in the ring, possibly via Naito. Great move there by Takahashi. Ospreay's down and out. I think that could be it, you know. 1, 2, and 3. And Hirumo Takahashi does get the victory. But I think Will Ospreay will be a little bit disappointed in the fact that he could have got the win earlier on. But the referee being distracted by Bushi did not count the pin. And there we go. Hirumo Takahashi victorious against Will Ospreay. Ospreay up on his feet now, and Takahashi offering a handshake. Because Ospreay does accept the handshake. I think Ospreay does respect the win there by Takahashi, but he must be disappointed in the manner of his pin not being counted by Bushi, or by the referee, when Bushi distracted the referee. And here it is in the next match. Sheamus and Cesaro take on Evil and Sanada. I think we've seen the LIG tag team work together for quite some time in this universe mode, so this would be pretty cool to see them. And I do have LIG possibly lined up for a position in a Carnage roster as well. I think they would suit that, quite dark and disturbed and twisted. I like the idea of potentially a LIG versus Bray Wyatt family's feud, or an LIG versus Sanity feud. Could be pretty interesting. Maybe even a Ministry feud, who knows. But here we go then, Evil and Sanada working together. I like Sanada. Sanada really freaked me out because, of course, I watched... I used to watch TNA religiously every single week until it became too difficult to watch. And at that point in time, we had Sanada in there. Now, this Sanada in New Japan, I don't know what happened. I think he ate the old Sanada, because he's just like 10 times bigger than him. He's huge. So either they allow steroids quite happily in New Japan, or the guy's putting a hell of a lot of work. It's one of those two. So that'd be pretty cool. And of course then we got Evil Watanabe, who was sort of a person who ended up just in the middle of nowhere. He was one of those sort of guys that didn't really do much in the New Japan roster, then went away and found himself on a American and Mexican tour and became the man you see in front of you right now. Became Evil, and it's worked so well. I think it worked so well for the whole of the LIG stable, because that's what happened with Naito as well, wasn't it? Naito had a situation, didn't they, where they he was being pushed as the new main guy, wasn't he, for New Japan, and the fans sort of rejected him. It was just too much too early, so the fans rejected him, and then it all sort of went down, didn't it, to quite bad. And LIG, well, Naito went off and did some work in AAA for a little bit of time, which is where he came up with the LIG stable, and a whole new changing character, and the whole thing seems to have worked out very, very well for all of the guys, really. Good times. Good freaking times. Well, there we go. That is LIG. Really milking the entrance, aren't they? It's a long old entrance. And they're going to be taking on Sheamus and Cesaro. The tag team that aren't... well, weren't a tag team, were they, in the Adrenaline Universe mode? Because we saw Cesaro teaming up with Cassius Ohno of the Kings of Wrestling. But still here in Octane for the moment. Anyway, these two guys are working together. Not quite sure well, I see these two guys long term. I never really saw them long term together anyway, to be honest, once this whole thing started in WWE. I thought it was going to be a very short term thing, but they seem to have gone together quite nicely. I'd still like to see both guys a bit more in singles action. I'd like to see Cesaro move over to SmackDown potentially with the draft, and maybe allow Cesaro to actually finally get that run he so deserves. And I'm disappointed that he's never been given that real main event run, has he? He was dabbled around the position every now and again, but he was never really been given that final nod to say, yes, go on, you go away and you win that championship. So hopefully the Cesaro section will finally get appeased in a couple of years or so. Gotta be. And once you've won that championship once, it's a lot easier to win it a second time. And of course, there's Sheamus is there as well. And as you can see, around his waist is the European Championship. He had that from our previous Universe mode to bring into this one. And of course, he will be defending that at our first pay-per-view, All or Nothing, against the winner of tonight's main event, Marty Scurll versus Drew McIntyre. That is going to be a big one for you. Two British guys both going for the opportunity to face off against another British guy at All or Nothing for the European Championship in a couple of weeks' time. But tonight, Sheamus first has tag team action on his mind, because one thing Sheamus would love to do in this Universe mode is become a double champion. Can you imagine that? Sheamus with a tag team belt and the European Championship around his waist? I'm pretty sure he'll happily do that. Alright, so here we go then. We're going to start things off with Sanada and Cesaro in the ring, which might get me a bit tongue-tied, but here we go. And straight away, straight in with the drop toe hold by Sanada, and this could be an interesting one, this, because Cesaro is very naturally strong. Cesaro probably one of the most pound-for-pound strong guys WWE have to offer. Of course, we saw him scoop slam the Big Show in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal a few years ago, and even pick the Big Show up and drop him over the top rope in that Battle Royal. So hopefully, hopefully we'll see some more of that in the future, don't get me wrong. But in this one, I think Sanada is very strong as well. And Watanabe is quite strong, or Evil, sorry, is quite strong as well. So it's going to be a real strongman style. I think it completely puts a whole different turn on the match we previously just had. Two of the best junior heavyweights in the world. Oh, nice hot tag there by Sanada into Evil, who clotheslines Cesaro straight up his boots and shoulder blocks him down as well. Another big clothesline by Evil, before heading up to the middle rope, in for the double elbows into the face of Cesaro. Sanada down on the outside, as Evil continues his domination. Well, commentator's curse there. Cesaro taking Evil down just as Sanada gets back up, and in comes Sheamus. I'm drinking a beer because I've been where I work is very, very dusty, and I've been out in the dust quite a bit, and I've just been incredibly thirsty. Now, I've drunk quite a bit since I got back, but I've just cracked open a beer and I'm salivating. So every time I have a sip of beer, I'm really just dribbling everywhere. I do apologise for the random dribbles, but you're used to me dribbling on by now, I suppose, aren't you, really? I can dribble on quite a bit. Nice right hand right in the gut by Sheamus, and a nice running axe handle right in the face of Evil. And again, a win here in the first episode could really change your ways in this universe mode. Could really give you a massive boost. But of course, Sheamus, I'm not a big fan of people wrestling double duty, so Sheamus, well, if they win all their matches, then I can't not let them have the championship match, I suppose, can I? But at the same time, I would prefer them not to. I would prefer somebody else to get that opportunity. But yeah, it's out of my hands in some cases. Big slam there by Evil, now stalking Cesaro. Nice STO, there's the pin. But Sheamus has the referee distracted. He doesn't even notice the pin. Now he does 1, 2, and Cesaro had enough time to kick out, but well played there by Sheamus, just blocking the referee off. Now Sanada in the ring, looking to continue on the good work that Evil has completed. Sanada now bringing Sheamus back up, with Sheamus with a jawbreaker. Nice arm drag takedown by Sanada. Now, another running drop toe hold. Dropping Cesaro flat on his face. Sanada bringing Cesaro back up. Big stiff right hand now into a dragon suplex. Decided against the bridge and pin. Now rolling Cesaro over. And now Sanada just hooking Cesaro up and rolls him up, and Cesaro's stuck. I do like that move. It's quite a comedy little move, isn't it? Oh, a big kick up the anus. There you go, that's a soundbite for you there straight away in this new universe mode. A kick up the anus there by Sanada on Cesaro. And I'll tell you what, LIG are firmly in control of this match, I was about to say, but there you go. Into the tag, and in comes a fresh Sheamus, who gets caught straight in a backbreaker. And I'll tell you what, Evil and Sanada are looking very good here this evening. I didn't expect them to dominate the match quite as much as they have. It sort of came in for a while. It took them a while to get into the dominance, but since they have taken control, it just doesn't look like Sanada and Sheamus, Sheamus and Cesaro are going to get back into this one. Ooh, a game on my Steam wishlist is on offer. I plan on getting a new PC very, very soon. And once I get a new PC, I'll be able to do a bit more on PC gaming. But I'll also be able to, hopefully, don't hold me to this, but I'll hopefully be able to do some streaming as well. I might head over to Twitch and do a bit of streaming here and there. Just, I would like to stream because it just means that I'll be able to talk to you guys in real time and get to know you a bit better than what we do in these videos. I try and reply to as many comments as I possibly can, but obviously if we were streaming it'd be a lot easier sort of thing. But that's one thing that I plan on doing this year in the future. Coming to a screen near you. A shabby stream. Evil now big boot in the gut of Sheamus before just stamping him face first into the mat. And yeah, LIG firmly in control of this match. I don't see Sheamus and Cesaro lasting too much longer. So this episode's going to go the length, this one, isn't it? We're 35 minutes in. We've still got 3 more matches left after this one. And of course they are going to be Apollo Crews versus Anthony Nese up next. Andrade, Cien, Almas taking on Kushida. And then of course that main event, the European #1 contendership match, Marty, Scurll versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre from Aberdeen. He's not from Aberdeen, I don't think, but I just like saying the word Aberdeen. I roll my R. Aberdeen. So I'm getting a bit mad, aren't I? I do apologise. Again, a big right hand there by Evil into a Saito suplex. Sheamus is down. But is he out? Well, Evil's not going to take the opportunity. He's going to continue the assault. Looking to finish Sheamus off, but Sheamus fighting back with that right hand right in the gut. Strong strikes in. I don't think you really want to be getting into a striking battle with Sheamus. He's a very stiff fighter, is Sheamus. There's a backbreaker, a second backbreaker. Into a third backbreaker. Which ironically hurts your back, apparently. Sheamus bringing Evil back up to his feet. Right into the corner he goes. In comes the tag. Do Sheamus and Cesaro have a... Oh, maybe they do. Maybe it was back to front then. Maybe that should have been the way around. There's the pin by Cesaro on Evil. Referee now with the pin. 1, 2... Oh, and Evil kicked out. I was convinced that was going to be the 3 count, you know. But again, I think Sanada distracting the referee just about did enough to stop Cesaro and Sheamus getting the win. Look at these strong uppercuts here by Cesaro. This is what he's known for. Big uppercut once again. Into the other corner. A huge uppercut. Vintage Cesaro. And a drop kick as well. Cesaro with the front chancery now. Looking to take Evil up, but Evil fighting back into reverse DDT. And now Evil just wrenching back at the neck of Cesaro. A very loose camel clutch. Without hooking the arms, and that, I don't think it's a very dangerous submission maneuver, which is probably why Sheamus has not come in to break it up. Of course, you know the rules of wrestling, right? I didn't know this until recently. The rules of wrestling state that a tag team match, you're only allowed to enter the ring twice while being the non-legal member of the team. If you enter the ring more than twice as the non-legal member of the team, you are technically disqualified, which is a bit of crap. It's a stupid rule. I think it was an interview with David Hart Smith, and he was talking about one of the things, or a few of the things that he hated working in WWE. He hated the fact that he wanted to recreate a lot of his father's moveset, and he was told a lot of the moves were now banned, so he couldn't do that. And of course, he was told that as well, this whole rule about only being allowed to be in the ring so many times and before you get disqualified. He said it took away from being able to have the best matches possible, because you're always worried about these different techniques and rules and so forth they've been taught, rather than actually just putting the best match on. So it's a weird little rule. It's not an enforced rule, I don't think, to be honest with you. Gut wrench suplexes here. There's two by Cesaro. Keeps the grip, rolls the hip, looking for a trifecta of gut wrench suplexes. These four guys, none of them wants to give in. So much strength in this match. And if this is anything to do with how our roster is going to look and how our tag team division is going to look, and that straight away, where was Sheamus? Why is Sheamus not coming in to block that? This is how bad the AI is on this game. It really is. Like, Cesaro didn't even barely have that sharpshooter locked in, and Evil was already across to break it up, and Sheamus was not even anywhere near to try and block it. Pinned by Cesaro. 1, 2. Only a 1 count. I think the introduction of Evil into this one sort of distracted Cesaro enough to allow Sanada those extra few seconds to recuperate, and even more few seconds here allow Sanada to get a reversal over Sheamus. Sanada taking Sheamus up on his shoulders, drops him into that neck breaker. That could be all, you know. There's the pin. 1, 2, and it is. Wow. Sanada just comes in and drops Sheamus in that spinning cutter, and what a fantastic maneuver that was. And LIG, Sanada and Evil pick up the victory in this tag team match, which was a very long tag team match, but it was actually entertaining at the same time, which is what a tag team match needs to be, I think, in my opinion. These tag team matches that are dodgy and boring are horrible, aren't they? There you go. There you freaking go. LIG having a fantastic start to this universe mode. Takahashi the victory over Will Ospreay, and Evil and Sanada with a victory over one of the strongest tag teams that Octane has to offer. LIG have started things off very, very well, and can they continue on with this rich vein of form? We'll find out next week when Aleister Black takes on Tetsuya Naito. It's a biggie, that is. That's a big, big match. Oh, I've got Sanada versus Pete Dunne scheduled in a few episodes' time as well. And here is our next match then. It is going to be Apollo Crews taking on Anthony Nese. Now this one excites me, and I say that in a non-homosexual way, you know. It sounded a bit dodgy, I must admit. Now this is two big men who can move. I think the combination of these two guys is absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see exactly what match these two guys are going to pull off. Like I said, it's extreme agility mix of incredible strength, and I really am looking forward to this one. Anthony Nese is one of my favourites on 205 Live. I watched him quite a bit over on the indie scene, of course, Evolve and PWG and stuff like that. And of course he was, if your memory is as good as mine, which is not a good thing, I don't think. Because, well, don't get me wrong, mine's not as bad as PJ Toby's. I can remember some really random wrestling stuff, I really do. Nowhere near to the extent of PJ Toby. He's an absolute freak. He really is. He remembers the stupidest stuff. Like, you'll ask him the real name of like a wrestler from the early 80s and he'll tell you straight away. He's just weird. He's really weird. But I seem to recall that Tony Nese was one of the guys on who won TNA's Gut Check all them years ago when they did that. He was okay, he was signed, and I think they sent him down to OVW, and he just ended up rotting there for a few years before they released him, and then he ended up becoming a big success on the indie scene. And TNA need to really look at the people that were in charge at that point, and I think that was when they had the likes of Hogan, all them sort of people there, Bischoff and that, and they brought in bloody Brian Cage on Gut Check and said no. They brought in Anthony Nese and said yes, then sent him off somewhere. Yet they decided to push people like Aiden O'Shea. Like bloody Aiden O'Shea, he was awful. He really was bad. He was the worst person that ever came through Gut Check. Apart from that Magno. Bloody Magno, he was awful. He had the most botchy match I've ever seen in any like Gut Check. All the Gut Checks they did. Yeah, he managed to get no, he didn't get signed, did he? But WWE signed him up about 6 months later. He got released from WWE about 3 or 4 months ago now, I think. But yeah, he was a bit dodgy. But Joey Ryan, of course, TNA's biggest... Well, he was their biggest success from the gut check. But at the same time, again, they just didn't really use him correctly, I don't think. And to the point where he ended up getting released. So, disappointing. But now look at Joey now. He's one of the richest men on the indie scene. You might not agree with the way that he goes and his whole penis gimmick he's got going on at the moment. But he is one of the biggest sellers on pro wrestling tees. And he's doing a very good job for himself. He's not going to stop for you guys because... he's doing what he always wants to do. He wanted to be one of the biggest names in independent wrestling. That's what he's doing. I think there's worse people in the indie scene. I like him. I like him, but I do enjoy a bit of comedy in my wrestling every now and again. I think the wrestling should be for everyone. It should be, and I don't think that you get these people that like to come across as elitist and purist, and they want to just see this, this, and this. But I like to see submission wrestling. I like to see high flying. I like to see technical. I like to see all the different styles, lucha, Japanese, strong style, all that sort of stuff. I love it all. And when it comes to comedy, I love it. Especially over in PWG when they do the whole stuff. And do you remember when Chuck Taylor used to do the old grenade move? Where everyone started going in slow... Well, the slow motion thing in PWG a few years ago was quite good as well, wasn't it? Do you remember that one? Where they all just did a whole fight in slow motion and Tommaso Ciampa just came in and just beat everyone up in full time. In full speed even. But yeah, I like him. And I'm a bit disappointed in... Well, then again, I was going to say I was disappointed in the treatment of Apollo Crews because he is a very good wrestler and he's not really been given the greatest of runs in WWE. I think Apollo Crews for me is the epitome of what the Intercontinental Championship should be. He's a very, very good wrestler, but he might not be the best on the mic, and that's what the Intercontinental Championship's always been about. It's been about the people that are great performers but are always overlooked for the main event championship. But at the moment, I suppose I can't moan too much because he's doing pretty good things in the tag team division, isn't he, I suppose? Although, the thing is, I'm a big fan of Braun Strowman as well. But I'm disappointed with WrestleMania because I do not believe that with all them fantastic tag teams you currently have on Raw, that we should be having Braun Strowman fighting for the tag team championship at WrestleMania. Braun Strowman should be in a different match. Braun, for me, should be put in the Lesnar versus Reigns match. Make that a triple threat. That would be very interesting, that match, if that was a triple threat. Reigns versus Lesnar, I'm not overly bothered with. Reigns versus Lesnar versus Strowman, you've got me interest. But yeah, you've got the club. You've got Titus Worldwide, I suppose, now. You've got the Revival are looking pretty good. You've got the Bar. You're leaving the Hardys back pretty soon. Yet we're getting Braun Strowman fighting for the Tag Team Championship. But mainly, it begs logic to me. But there you go. There you go, let's finish me beer. Pin here by Apollo Crews. Only enough for a 1 count. And of course, don't forget, we've still got 2 more matches left for you after this one. And that's Almas versus Kushida and Marty Scurll versus Drew McIntyre. You know that by now. I've said it about 1,500 times so far in this match. But well, here we go. Apollo Crews taking Nese up. Spins him into that sit-out powerbomb. What a move that is. 1, 2, and no. Anthony Nese kicked out. Wow. I'd even picked up my highlighter ready to mark off the match. Wow, Nese and popping up into the head scissors takedown as well. I told you this would be a good match, didn't I? Oh, look at the strength of Anthony Nese. Wow. So both these guys so strong and so agile. It's a perfect combination. I'd like to see these two as a tag team, you know. That'd be a pretty interesting tag team, Nese and Crews. 450 by Anthony Nese on Apollo Crews. 1, 2... Again, only a 2 count, but what a match. I'm so happy so far with how this first episode of Octane is going. If this is anything to prove how good our universe mode is going to be going the whole way through, I'm going to be very, very happy. That wasn't even a real English sentence, but I'm still happy with how things are going. Crews now bringing Crews... Nese now bringing Crews to the... Oh, this is always going to be a tongue twist, this night, wasn't it, really? Ooh. Bit of a jingle on my phone. I've got an email. Apparently there are lots of hot Russian women that are ready to meet me now. Okay. Well, it's 11:30 in the evening. I don't think there'll be that many hot Russian women that want to come over now, but you never know. Pinned by Apollo Crews, only for a 1 count on Anthony Nese. I think the very first time I saw Apollo Crews, of course he was called Uha Nation on the indie scene. The very first match I ever saw him in, he got injured for a year. I think it was a 6-man scramble match at Combat Zone Wrestling. He went for a dive over the top and landed funny on his knee, and did his cruciate, is it his ACL in the knee? Yeah, he was out for, anterior cruciate ligaments, yeah. He was out for over a year, I think, with that injury. It was such a shame, because it was so good earlier in that match. It was insane. The strength mixed with the agility was incredible, but then to do that dive and just land funny on his knee, it was such a shame, but there you go. Cruz now looking to take Nese up, but Nese blocking him off into a suplex. There's the pin by Anthony Nese. I think he's not expecting to get the win here, but probably just a couple of seconds of extra breathing, catching your breath. I don't know. I'm making this crap as I go along now. Nese heading up top once again. Does he know 450 in his arsenal? Maybe not. As he's stalking Cruz as he makes his way back up to his feet. Anthony Nese, nice big clothesline. Nese now bringing Cruz back up once again. Rolls him through, hoists him up with a deadlift into a sit-out powerbomb. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Anthony Nese picks up a big victory here against Apollo Crews to start this Universe mode off in a good way. And I believe that might be Anthony Nese's debut in SWE as well, I believe. Are we going to see him again soon? Hopefully. I like him. Because he's one of my favourites in 205 Live. I don't think I've got him planned in for any more matches this month now, though. It's as much my favourite he is, isn't it? Is he in there? Oh yeah, he's in there. He's got a match there. Oh, we're going to see some more of Anthony Nese then. Don't you worry about that. He's going to be knocking around. He's going to be knocking around. Yeah, he's knocking around. Sorry, I'm just reading through my card. I've written it so long ago now, I can't remember what's going on. And here is our next match then. Andrade Cien Almas takes on Kushida. 1-on-1. Been looking forward to this one. One of Mexico's best versus one of Japan's best. That WWE logo's annoying me. Why did I not even notice that WWE logo was there on the left-hand side? That's annoying me now. I will destroy it, hopefully, before the next episode. If the game allows me to do so. And here then comes Andrade Cien Almas, the current NXT champion, and somebody who I think they've got big plans for in the future. Based on the reaction he's had when he's gone over to Mexico and so forth for the last few weeks, I think Vince may have found his answer to the long-standing how do we get the Latin American market back on side. With Rey Mysterio, obviously, well, there was talks bringing Rey Mysterio back until he got badly injured. There was also talks about bringing Humberto Del Rio back, but he's just a problem I don't think anybody really needs. So I think that this guy right here could be the man that WWE are looking for, and so far he's incredible. He's a fantastic in-ring competitor. He's a fantastic heel champion at the moment in NXT as well, and I just can't wait to see what effect he's going to have moving forward. Now, do we see him after WrestleMania? That's all going to depend on TakeOver. For me, TakeOver's going to say a lot of things, I think, before WrestleMania. So either we're going to see Andrade Cien Almas drop the NXT Championship, move up to the main roster, or we see Almas keep the NXT Championship and Aleister Black move up to the main roster. I don't know why, but I feel like, I don't want to say Aleister Black's not ready, but I feel like Almas might be in a better position to move up to the main roster at this point in time. His face character didn't really work too well, but I think his heel character is working fantastically well. And I think adding Zelina Vega into this situation has been very fruitful as well. Awkward, because I believe that Zelina Vega is actually Andrade Cien Almas' ex-wife, and Austin Aries is his current girlfriend. There you go, a bit of random knowledge there that's probably completely incorrect and not factual, but answers on a postcard, you know. Citation needed. As with everything I ever say, citation is always needed. It's just the kind of guy I am. Just the kind of guy I am. So here we go then. I'm looking forward to this one as well. Another fantastic match. And that's all that tonight's been so far. I've been so happy with this as a first episode of Octane. It's going to go a long one as well, isn't it? Because we're already at the 55-minute mark and we've got 2 more big matches for you So, yeah, we're definitely going to be in a interesting situation. Oh. Situation. Yeah, I am definitely going weird, I think. Am I going weird, or was I weird to start with? That's the question. Wow, sit-out powerbomb straight away by Almas on Kushida. Nice fisherman suplex. Well, although I've just seen a little bit of news that probably you guys know already by now, because I'm recording this a couple of days ahead of when this is being uploaded, so it'll probably be a bit more mainstream by the way that this has happened. But it looks like WWE are in talks with Hulk Hogan, believe it or not, to make a return, which I wouldn't be against. Maybe Hulk could be the new general manager for SmackDown. They're going to need one now with Daniel Bryan looking like he's going to return to the ring. And with Shane McMahon already stating that he's going to be taking a step away from the camera after WrestleMania, they're going to need a brand new general manager on SmackDown. And it's been good for them, I think. A nice freshen up as well. Who's going to be the man? I don't honestly know. Or woman, should we say. Am I... Oh, I wouldn't really want to see Vicky Guerrero. Vicky Guerrero was alright, but she just her voice annoys me, to be honest. Excuse me. But Teddy Long is just a bit... Teddy Long's alright as well. He's just a bit... again, he's a bit bland, isn't he, for too long. Not sure who I'd want to see, to be honest with you. Maybe Mick Foley comes back, I don't know. Maybe Drake Maverick gets a promotion. It's not going too well there for old... there we go. After 15 attempts at kicking, Almas finally connects. And Almas taking a well-deserved break there on the corner. I'm still perplexed why Almas wasn't on the game. The rumour heavily was that Almas had requested not to be on the game, but why you would request not to be on the game, I've got no idea. It seems a little bit of a weird decision, isn't it, really? I don't want to be immortalised on a computer game. Nice roll through powerbomb there by Andrade. Cien Almas. That could be all, is it? No, he's going to continue the offense, but maybe not. Maybe Kushida's going to get a little bit of offense back. Nice boot in the back of the leg there by Andrade Cien Almas, and as soon as... Oh, there it is, the hammerlock DDT by Almas. As soon as Kushida tried to get back into this one, Almas was just one step ahead. And there... No! Wow. I was convinced that was it there, but it was not enough. It was only a 2 count. That is stunned me a bit there, I must admit. I was convinced that was game, set, match. Almas bringing Kushida back up to his feet. Gets her on the back, looking for that straight jacket German bridges for the pin. 2. Again, only enough for a 2 count. Interesting. And now Kushida getting back into this one himself. But does he have enough to take full control of this match? He's struggled so far. Kushida now bringing Almas back up to his feet. There's the snapmare. Bringing that arm around, both arms around the neck. Almas taking Kushida down. Almas now dragging Kushida along. What's he got planned here? There's the pin. 1, 2. Again, only enough for a 2 count. I wonder why he was dragging him around the ring there for a moment. Almas now taking Kushida up on his shoulders, but Kushida slides free. Kushida now bringing Almas back up to his feet. Rolls him through into the cross armbar. Wow. Wow, what a maneuver. Is it going to be enough? Will Almas tap? No, Almas fights free. Nice right hand there by Almas now. Looking for that reverse Bloody Sunday, but not quite enough. And Kushida Reversed it into a suplex. Only again enough for a 2 count though. Kushida stalking the grounded Almas once again. What he was looking for there, maybe a Michinoku drive, but Almas fights him free. A boot in the gut, hammerlock DDT out of nowhere. Andrade, Cien, Almas hits it. 1, 2, and no! Wow. Wow, tonight has been absolutely insane. Every single match has been absolutely top draw. And Almas go for a little break in the corner. Has it enough to warrant that break? Who knows? Head scissors now by Almas on Kushida. Almas bringing Kushida back up to his feet and just wrenching the head now. Almas bringing Kushida back up to his feet. I cannot believe Kushida's kicked out of 2 hammerlock DDTs. That's insane. That's absolutely insane to me now. Wow, ringing the arm there of Almas. Into an arm breaker once again now, wrenching back on an armbar. Still not enough though to keep Almas down, but eventually Almas has got to realise that the damage being done to his body might not be worth him taking at this point in time. He doesn't want to injure himself and end up causing himself to be out of certain time in this universe mode. He needs to get full in, but then again, a loss here could be just as detrimental to him. There's no way really to win here for Almas. He's either got to, well, apart from winning the match, of course. That would help. Almas wheelbarrow bulldog. There's the pin once again. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Almas just rolling now. Kushida over. Kushida fighting Almas back. Kushida bringing Almas back up to his feet. And rolls him through once again into the cross arm bar. Surely Almas is going to have to tap. He needs to think about the rest of this universe mode, not just tonight's match. No, he's survived once again. Wow. Almas, how are you surviving? This is just not worth it. The damage being done to your arm is just not worth it, but another incredible match here on Octane. So far, everything's just gone so well here this evening. I'm so happy with this first episode. It annoys me the fact that the Adrenaline pay-per-view did not give us this quality of matches. The game has this ability to do it, so why didn't he give us to it? A couple of big stiff right hands in the face there by Almas now. Bring Kushida back up to his feet. It's gotta be. There's a third hammerlock DDT. If that's not enough to win this one, I don't know what is. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. How? How was that not enough? And now a Kimura lock by Kushida, and he's got the legs grapevine as well. Surely Almas does have to tap, and he does. He realises that he needs to think about further on this universe mode, but what a freaking match. Wow. Marty Scurll and Drew McIntyre, you have a hell of a lot to lead into for this main event here this evening, because this was possibly the best match I think we've seen in WWE 2K18 in a very, very long time. Almas versus Kushida. This is very, very good. Very, very good. I might have to even upload this as a separate match, I'm not sure yet, but it just is a cracker, wasn't it? A real cracker. 3 hammerlock DDTs was not enough to keep Kushida down. 2 cross arm bars was not enough to keep Almas down, but finally it was the Kimura lock by Kushida which finished it off. Of course, Kushida has done a few MMA fights, knows his submissions very, very well, and that's what got him the victory here this evening. And once you have the Kimura lock and you have the legs grapevine, it's very, very difficult for anybody to break free, and Kushida does pick up a massive victory in this first episode of Octane. And we will see Kushida a little bit later on this month as well, we're going to see him facing off against Will Ospreay in a couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for that one. But big, big win here for Kushida on the first night of SWE Octane. And here we go then, time for our main event of the evening. Marty Scurll versus Drew McIntyre. The winner gets a match at Shabby Mania against Sheamus for the European Championship. It's a biggie, ladies and gentlemen. It's a biggie. And here we go then, Marty Scurll. I don't know if this must be a good one, I think. I've had quite a few Marty Skulls over the previous couple of Universe modes, but I feel like none of them have been fantastic. I'm hoping this one is going to be the better one, the villain. It's looking pretty good so far. We've got Plague Mask. We've got Jacket. We're looking good. Rocking Sting's entrance. Not a massive fan of the bandana, but I think it is realistic. I think it is what he has in real life. And I was half tempted to put the Young Bucks out here, but I didn't want to take away from Marty Skull's entrance here. I want to see Marty Skull's entrance in all its glory in this first one. Because he is pretty cool, isn't he? I think he was such a fantastic addition to the Bullet Club roster. It just made so much sense. Just the character he had developed just made so much sense to move on and do what he did, basically. It was really, really good. Really good. I'm a fan. I am a fan of Mr. Scurll. I think he's a top class lad. Top lad. And it's a pretty good core actually as well, isn't it? When you look at it. It's a pretty good core. We do get a chance then to utilise Mr. Drew McIntyre. One of the DLC guys from this year's game. We've not used a lot of the DLC guys so far because of course we did the draft before the guys came out. So now we've got a chance to use them all. I don't know who we've got. I think we've just got Drew McIntyre in this one though. Aleister Black of course as well. I think that's it for DLC guys in this one. Although we are looking to utilise, of course, the Hardy Boys. They may turn up in Carnage. They may turn up in Mayhem as well, I think. It's pretty good. Rock and Roll Express, I think, suits Mayhem pretty well, so they might end up over there. I'm sure we'll find some good places for certain people. And here comes Drew McIntyre then. It's going to be an interesting one. He's not had the he's not had a lot of chances so far, has he, in SWE? I understand Drew's a good wrestler, but I've never really been the biggest fan of McIntyre, I must admit. I like McIntyre, but he's not the be-all end-all for me. But this could be his chance to prove me completely wrong. I'm a massive Marty Scurll fan. So it's sort of like a one for me, one for you sort of situation here. I want Marty to win this one, but Drew McIntyre has got a massive fan following behind him, so let's give him the opportunity to see if he can pull it off. If he can pull it off, then Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus will go ahead. If not, then Marty Scurll versus Sheamus goes ahead. Either way, we're going to have a cracking European Championship match at All or Nothing, the first SWE Octane pay-per-view, which will be coming up for you a couple of weeks' time, I believe. McIntyre just demolishing Marty Scurll straight off the bat there. Bringing Marty back up to his feet. Pinged into the turnbuckle. Marty fighting back, sending Drew McIntyre into the far corner. Marty now into a Northern Light suplex. Now there's the head scissors and Marty Scurll starting to take some control now. Of course, we probably see Marty try and weaken that neck, try and weaken the shoulders and the arm, potentially for the chicken wing later on. Of course, with Drew McIntyre utilising the Future Shock DDT, the double arm DDT, made famous by Cactus Jack. Marty there just demolished Drew McIntyre with that crossbody. That was brutal. Marty's now heading over the top and heading back in again. Can't quite decide what Marty's doing, can he? Wow. But he does get demolished by Drew McIntyre. McIntyre now bringing Marty Scurll back up to his feet. Pings him off the far rope. Elbow in the face, but wow. Marty didn't even feel it. He comes fighting straight back with the right hand now, taking McIntyre up onto his shoulders. Or McIntyre breaking free. What potentially looked like it could have been a razor's edge. But straight away, Scurll catches him once again into the underarm suplex there. Or the underhook suplex. Marty is in quite a good control of this match now. And this is pretty a good place for him to be if he can just continue to dominate this match moving forward. She seems to be doing so. There you go, look, every time Drew tries to get some aggression, he just gets taken out. But Drew is back in control of the match now, but can he keep it for a contained amount of time? That's the problem we're having so far. He's just not keeping that contained. Oh, no. Wow, look at the distance Marty travelled with that belly-to-belly suplex. And now all of a sudden McIntyre utilising his strength to start to control the match. McIntyre slamming the face of Marty into the ring now, bringing him back up to his feet. Went for the ace crusher, but Marty fighting back. Marty now looking for a suplex. Keeps Drew up there, but Drew fighting his way back down. I've noticed that's the way it goes with this game. As soon as somebody gets a control early on in the match, it really is difficult for anybody else to get any control back. Nice elbow straight in the knee there by Drew McIntyre. Now bringing Marty back up to his feet. Snapmare taking him down. Marty fighting back there with the elbows right in the gut of Drew. But Drew catches him straight away off the ropes. Looking for that back elbow. And again, Marty completely no-sells it and comes fighting back. And now Marty's got a hook in it as well into that pile driver. That maneuver, of course, the pile driver, very much frowned upon in the wrestling community because of the danger that it causes to your opponent. And now on the outside, Marty just booting away at the legs of Drew, trying to weaken him. And there's a neck breaker, as I said, possibly trying to weaken him for that potential cross-face chicken wing later on in the match. McIntyre, though, fighting back, taking Marty's skull down, bringing Marty back up to his feet on the outside. There's the uppercut by Marty once again. And into a running meteor. Referee's up to a 5 count. And I'll tell you what, Marty would not be disappointed losing this by counter, I don't think. Reverse Dragon Sleeper by Marty Scurll. But it's not quite enough to keep him down. So I just had a bit of a glitch. I'm going to have to cut that bit out. Get rid of that. Okay. Marty now raking at the back of Drew McIntyre. McIntyre taking Marty up onto his shoulders. Marty sliding back into a reverse DDT. And now Marty stalking Drew McIntyre. Will this be the moment he locks in the crossface chicken wing and gets himself the place at All or Nothing? There it is, the crossface chicken wing locked in. Legs a grapevine. Is Drew McIntyre going to tap? He's not tapping at the moment. He does tap eventually, and Marty Scurll is going to All or Nothing to face off against Sheamus for the European Championship. What a win here for Marty Scurll, and what a climax to what has been a fantastic episode here of Octane. I am so happy with how things has worked out. I am very, very happy, and Marty Scurll versus Sheamus is our first confirmed championship match at SWE All or Nothing. Marty offering a handshake here, and Drew does accept it. Of course, both these guys know each other quite well from across the British wrestling scene, and some great respect being shown there. But anyway, guys, there's the end of this first episode of Octane. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do slap a like, and of course, subscribe if you're looking forward to seeing some more and you're not already. Of course, I'm hoping to get the next episode up for you for tomorrow. However, because of work commitments again, it might be a day later. But either way, by Monday, we should have another video online. And then hopefully by next week, we should be completely back on track with what we need to do. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time for our next episode of SWE Octane. Bye.